Institutions have failed millennials and Gen Z. As we navigate 2024, it's evident that the systems that we once trusted are now crumbling. In this decade, the challenge for these generations that I've mentioned is figuring out how to overcome the economic pressure and find pathways to success.
Although this reality may seem stark, in a lot of ways it is, it's also a call to action. It's an opportunity for us, and this is what we'll do in this video, to take a look at what's broken, identify why it no longer works for us, and then at the end of this video, what we'll talk about is a solution that you'll be able to apply in order to start breaking away and set yourself free.
The first situation that's broken are four-year universities. They are a debt sinkhole.
In 2024, the total student loan debt in the United States hovered around $1.7 trillion. Moreover, each student carries around $38,000 of debt, if you didn't know. If you're Gen Z, you're probably looking at your debt-laden, degree-loaded millennial sibling working at Starbucks, making latte art, wondering if that's the same route that you want to take. My guess is that it's not. All right, so I'm gonna go all the way down in the water, run back. Hopefully nobody steals my I'll be right back. That was fun.
The second issue is that inflation forces you to charge an arm and a leg for a piece of cheese.
In 2024, whatever money you earn is worth less. In February 1984, 1 pound of cheese would cost you $3 and 0.36 cents. 40 years later, in February 2024, this same amount of cheese costs you $5.72. This doesn't seem crazy until you calculate the average growth rate and realize that the cheese cost has increased by 88.4% in the past 40 years. That, my friends, is some expensive cheese. I can't help but be angry when I see stats like this because you can only work so many extra hours. Still, the Federal Reserve only needs to hit enter on a keyboard and the monetary value of your work's earnings can be obliterated just like that.
And the third issue,
learning to code no longer has the same longevity or job security that it once used to. I think an unspoken truth of the ending of the last decade and the start of this one is that millennials and older Gen Z were running to tech and learning to code because the six-figure tech dream seemed like a way out of inflation and debt slavery. Today, whatever job or wage security the industry seems to provide is challenged by a swath of layoffs showcasing the volatility of choosing a tech career. According to techlayoffs.fyi, 360 tech companies have laid off over 100,000 employees in the past 7 months. What was once a way out has now seemed to have closed, or at the very least, become very unstable. It seems like the tech industry is completely subject to the highs and lows of the broader market, and one day you're balling in six figures, and the next you're completely out of luck and out of a job.
in the fourth issue,
working for a corporation is an awkward exchange between the illusion of job security and surrendering your dignity. Still, the bills need to get paid. Many millennials and Gen Z bite the bullet and scrape and claw their way to a generic corporate role, completing some generic corporate tasks for a generic, fast-paced work environment. At least you get to work from home, right? Well, sort of. If you're uncalled back to the office, your employer will likely monitor you. Yes, that's right. According to a survey by resumebuilder.com, 96% of remote companies use employee monitoring software. They're watching. And 37% require you to be on a live video feed. Ah, freedom at last. So even when you do get freedom, quote unquote, in a remote work environment, you're never alone and you're not being trusted to be an adult.
the solution.
How do we escape in a world where all the tried and true options for getting ahead are either broken or well on their way? Well, my friends, I have an answer. Creativity, the big C word. Where there are no doors, you must make one yourself. But Fido, I'm not a door maker. Okay, I'm not talking about literally making doors. Look at your skills and how you can uniquely combine them to make money. It's probably the most simple way that I have of putting it. I know this is easier said than done, but the herd mentality of playing it safe is a myth in a world with a collapsing society. It's like sitting on the sinking Titanic, going about life while your room fills with water. I don't know about you, but to me it sounds a little crazy when you put it that way. If you want to make it, you have to attempt the escape. There's no other way. Furthermore, the critical point here is that to think creatively, you must first be able to think independently. I could be wrong, I often am, but I predict that those who make it out of this mess we call modern life will be those who think on their feet. lean on the things that you're best at, and trust that God will provide the rest. You may get ostracized or looked at different, but most people, given a chance and a guarantee, would want the opportunity to throw the bird at all their debts, their commitments, and their lack of freedom. They do exactly what you're doing right now, what you want to do, or what you dream of doing, which is setting yourself free. In a world where traditional routes to success are unreliable, thinking creatively and independently is essential to breaking free from debts and constraints and forging a future on your terms. Please like and subscribe, and I'm out.